Hello and welcome back to Women's Football Talk, the YouTube channel that brings you all the latest news and stories. So today we are continuing our club by club guide to the 2022-2023 WSL season, and we are now looking at Manchester City. But before we get into that, make sure you are subscribed with the post notification bell turned on and that you are following us on Twitter and on Instagram for the latest news and stories. So Manchester City, it's been a summer of change for Gareth Taylor's side with 7 outgoings and 6 incomings this summer. It's going to be a very interesting season for them. So why I think it's going to be such a big season for them, because they have lost a lot of their core players, the likes of Georgia Stanway, Jill Scott, Lucy Bronze, Caroline Weir and Ellen White have all either retired or have left the club over the course of the past few months since the end of the WSL season last year. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Gareth Taylor replaces those players and gets them all playing together. Now obviously, as the time of recording, the transfer window is about to end and they have done a good amount of signings and have brought in some very good players that I'm excited to see play over here in England, and very intrigued to see how they fit in with the rest of the squad and get going. Now Man City have obviously started their season early, playing in the Champions League when they faced Real Madrid in the round 1 final of their little tournament. However, they obviously got knocked out and are out of it, so they are just going to be focusing on the league, the Conti Cup and the FA Cup this season. So if we look at their signings they've brought in Dana Castellanos and Leia Alexandre from Atletico Madrid. They brought in Leila Wahabi from Barcelona, Mary Fowler, Sandy McGeever and Kirsten Kashbarai. So these are really good signings. A bit of youth in there with the likes of Kashbarai, Fowler, McGeever and Castellanos and Alexandre. It's a very more youth orientated side that Gareth Taylor seems to be going for now. Obviously Leila Wahabi being the oldest of the signings at 29 years old, but the rest he seems to have gone to a more youthful look, and I think that could help pave the way for a bit of a brighter future for Manchester City. After what was a rocky start to last season, there was many people circulations going around that could Gareth Taylor possibly be sacked due to their poor start. However, they managed to recover and finish third ahead of rivals Manchester United to take that sole final Champions League spot, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they can recover this season. They obviously don't want to get off to such a rocky start, but can they close the gap to the top 2 positions of Chelsea and Arsenal and put on a three-way fight potentially for the Champions League spaces? Some players to watch out for. Obviously everyone knows what Lauren Hemp is capable of doing in this squad. If Kira Walsh, as the time of recording, is still there, if they can keep her, I think she's going to be very key to that. And then I do think Mary Fowler and Dana Castellanos will help add in the goals alongside Kadia Shaw, who's coming into her second season, and obviously Chloe Kelly, who will be coming back to full fitness after missing the majority of last season. So it's a good rounded squad for Gareth Taylor, and I think if he can keep this squad a lot more healthy and get off to a much stronger start than they did last year, then it definitely has the looks of, on paper at least, having a good competition and potentially giving us a three-way battle for the title this season. Obviously their main focus will be just to get that third place at this minute, so they can keep getting Champions League football ahead of rivals Manchester United. But at the same time, they do want to be knocking on the door sooner or later and challenging the top 2 for the title. I think what will also be interesting is losing key players like Caroline Weir and Lucy Bronze, and still potentially, as of time of recording, they could still potentially lose Kira Walsh, although there's been nothing concrete in the last few weeks. If they do lose Kira Walsh on top of those departures that have already happened, it's going to be quite hard to replace them and bring in that camaraderie back together, because at times it's good to have a good core of players that know each other and know the system and can help embed the new players. Obviously Gareth Taylor still has those players there that have been there for a while now: Steph Horton, Alex Greenwood, Demi Stokes, Laura Coombs, and obviously Lauren Hem. So there is that good core of players, but I think losing players like Lucy Bronze and Caroline Weir could provide and be the difference if Man City don't get their new players embedded in quick enough and good enough to what could be a good season to what could potentially be a bad season for them. So that's going to be my thing to watch out on paper, is how quickly can those new signings settle in to the club and get going this season. Right, that is everything for our Manchester City preview. Like I said at the start, make sure you are subscribed with a post notification bell turned on, and that you are following us on Twitter and Instagram for all the latest news and stories. Until our next one tomorrow, where we look at Manchester United, we'll see you soon.